Bona tarda a tothom. Som l'Alan Salvador i jo, la Margot Meca, i estem molt feliços de donar-vos la benvinguda com a codirectors de la segona festa del Rain Film Festival. Durant aquestes 3 edicions, el número de pel·lícules rebudes per participar a la competició ha seguit augmentant. Aquesta vegada han sigut 260. Ens fa molta il·lusió compartir amb vosaltres el resultat d'aquest procés de selecció, que són les 8 pel·lícules finalistes, 8 curtmetratges que, des del nostre punt de vista, exploren les possibilitats que ofereixen les eines de la IA generativa al cinema contemporani. Volem agrair, en primer lloc, al comitè de selecció del Rain pel treball col·lectiu fet durant aquests mesos. Miriam Sánchez, Adrián Sánchez, Daniel Grandes, Carolina Martínez, Daniel Pérez, que estan aquí a la sala, i li fem un aplaudiment. També volem agrair al jurat que ha acceptat la nostra invitació, Sílvia Rúixez, Carme Puche i Jordi Balló, que també estan a la sala, i li fem un aplaudiment. Igualment volem agrair al CCCB que acull aquesta iniciativa sorgida des de la Universitat Pública. Des de l'inici del mes Rain, els processos creatius en via han estat al centre de les nostres principals preocupacions. Per aquest motiu, en la programació d'enguany també hem seleccionat alguns films fora de competició que, per les seves característiques estètiques i temàtiques, mereixen formar part d'aquesta discussió, d'aquesta reflexió compartida. Per això, en la jornada de demà del festival, que es farà al campus de la UPF al Poble Nou, se podran veure algunes peces fora de competició i també podrem debatre amb els cineastes sobre les seves metodologies d'ús de la IA. Les 8 pel·lícules finalistes que veureu a continuació són pel·lícules essencialment contemporànies, perquè poden existir només ara gràcies a les eines de la IA generativa, però estableixen també un diàleg amb la història del cinema d'avantguarda, del cinema experimental, de l'assaig i de la videoart. Les directores i els directors que les van crear tenen també perfils molt diversos. Hi ha autors i autores amb una pràctica que se situa entre la videoart i l'art contemporani, cineastes que s'han format en les principals escoles de cinema europees, directors amb trajectòries al cinema de ficció i documental que han trobat en la IA generativa noves possibilitats per la seva recerca. Destaquem en particular una forta presència de directors i directores emergents com a senyal de la curiositat que desperten aquestes escenes entre les noves generacions de cineastes.
Les pel·lícules que veureu a continuació responen, en certa manera, a l'atenció mediàtica i al debat ètic crucial sobre aquestes tecnologies. Hem apostat per maneres de fer cinema que són d'avantguarda, en el sentit que desafien els límits i juguen amb les possibilitats del llenguatge. Veureu que les pel·lícules són profundament experimentals en el sentit que busquen la seva pròpia forma, la seva estètica, la seva narrativa, fora dels cànons comercials, apostant sovint per una fabricació artesanal. Són pel·lícules que es confronten amb la materialitat de la imatge, les seves textures, investiguen en molts casos el caràcter fins i tot fantasmàtic, fantasmagòric dels nous processos de creació de la IA. També contenen una reflexió sobre l'estatut d'aquestes pròpies imatges, en el qual sovint ressona un treball al voltant de la memòria individual i col·lectiva, la confrontació entre allò real i allò imaginat i la fabricació del record i els seus miratges. Veureu que són qüestions que travessen moltes de les pel·lícules que veureu a continuació. Són pel·lícules que exploren també qüestions essencialment polítiques, qüestionant la societat del control, els dispositius tecnològics d'operació, el paper de la tecnologia en perpetuar violències i injustícies, però també les possibilitats de resistència. Aquesta vocació política ens sembla especialment significativa en un moment històric que ens obliga a qüestionar-nos contínuament en lo personal i en lo públic i com a festival ens obliga a posicionar-nos i prendre accions per ser coherents al nostre suport al poble palestí que està sofrint la violència genocida i colonial del govern d'Israel amb la complicitat internacional. Les projeccions d'avui s'organitzen en 2 blocs de 4 curts cadascun, acompanyats pels cineastes, amb molts d'ells els teniu ja aquí en aquesta fila 0, que han viatjat a Barcelona per acompanyar les pel·lícules. Entre les 2 projeccions hi haurà una breu pausa, més o menys de 20 minuts, més o menys. And now we switch to English.
Yes. And we would love to introduce the first 4 films for the first block of screenings. They are The Electric Kiss by Ranel Kohlberger, At Least I Will Be 8,294,400 Pixels by Marco Tallarico, The Egregores Theory by Andrea Gatopoulos, and Format Error Occurred at Offset by Zirui Chen. We invite the directors to join us on stage to say a few words before the screening, and please come. As you see, one of the directors is not here. Ranel Kohlberger could not make it to arrive in Barcelona today, but he left us a video, so after the short introduction, we will also see his video.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming, and thank you for the curiosity also of confronting with these new tools without fear, with the idea that we have to protect the ability of human beings to resist fine poetry in times of a great artificiality. Like the film that I have done was born from a story that I wrote many years ago, that if it were to be a normal fiction film, it would be like just a plain dystopian sci-fi tale. And I think that artificial intelligence gave this film the possibility to have an aesthetic that is directly diegetic to the object of the narration. The idea was to take the memories of a man that have been compromised and censored by a machine and show them for how the machine has given them back to us. And I think that AI, with the glitches and like this aesthetic of the bug, gave me the possibility to like honestly reproduce this sense of tilt that can happen when a machine like munches and gives back memory. So I hope that you can enjoy the film. I'll be happy to discuss it with you, and thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Marco Tallarico, the director of At Least I Will Be and a lot of numbers. And I'm very happy to be here. I want to thank the celebrity, the people that organized this event. And my film, it's an hybrid, I think, that involves various techniques. And it resonates on identity and memory, and it try to create this usage of AI as a memory tool, and that's it.
Hi everyone, my name is Zirui Chen, and also very honored to be here. And thanks everyone for coming to see our screening. And my film is also about the identity, how identity circulates in the bureaucracy system, and then how the cultural background shape the identity of a people, a guy, and also comes to the modern AI industry, how those kind of system dissolve the people's identity. So it's kind of this tool, and yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. We should add the video from Rainer. It's very short, but...
Hello, my name is Rainer Kohlberger. I'm the director of the film The Electric Kiss that you're about to see in this screening. And unfortunately, I can't be with you tonight in Barcelona, but thank you for coming to the screening. And thank you for the organizers of Plus Rain Film Festival for including my film. And I wish you a good projection and see you. Bye-bye.
Projecció. Passem a la projecció.
Ens veiem després pel Q&A. Marco Talarico, Andrea Gatopoulos, Zirui Chen. So, first of all, this is a conversation. Me and Alan will do some questions to break the ice, but please keep in mind that we want you to be part of this discussion with the filmmakers. And we would love to start with the first round of questions for the three of you regarding the conception of your films and in particular the use of generative AI, as you can imagine. We want to know if it's something that you use regularly in your practice as filmmakers, or is it something that you have used for the first time in these films? And also, how do the use of AI connected with your film project and with your trajectory as filmmakers and artists? I think that, Andrea, you already mentioned something in your introduction. Maybe you want to start?
Yes, thank you very much. So first of all, I think that in general, the relationship that there is in my films between me and technology comes from the fear that I have of the future. And oftentimes this fear is represented by technology. It's the idea of, and the diffusion of this technology gives me a lot of paranoia. And this paranoia needs to be explored. So I need to own the thing, you know. And when a new thing comes out, if I don't know how to use it, I become very paranoid about what it could do to me, to my imagination. Even though I know it's still as tampered with it somehow. In the case of this film, what I was looking for was a way to use AI that was specific and unique to this kind of tool. And the first thing that I noticed is that what is unique in these images is that the glitches that they have, they don't have a human nature. They're random and involuntary. So to me, they looked like the perfect diegetic aesthetic and element to represent a memory that could be compromised by a machine. Because yes, you can paint a glitch, you can draw it, you can do it by yourself, but it will lose the randomness which characterizes this kind of images. And so it will lose the ability to be exactly diegetic for this kind of memory tampering that is in the film. So I think that this is the main difference between making this film with AI and making it with traditional technology, because it could have been done. It could have been drawn, or I could have shot pictures and then manipulated them by myself. But it would have been a different process, and I think a different meaning and outcome, a different semantics of images. And secondly, I studied linguistics in my university years, and I've always wanted to do a film that had an alphabet that you couldn't read, and that you needed the author and the subtitles to translate it to. And I believe that these kinds of signs, they are the signs of a future dictatorships. Signs that you cannot interpret if not throughout software or the intermediation of technology, which is where we are going and the kind of knowledge that we are building in the future generation, meaning that we're shifting from a system of memory that from one-to-one memory, like learning and knowing by heart concepts, to a system of memory where we know the questions and we know how to ask a tool that tells us, so we don't need to store information anymore. And this is very dangerous for future powers, the way they can tamper with how we know what's real or not. And I see this a lot already in like with students that come like in my workshops in schools, especially in high school, that they rely a lot on technology. So they're not worried about, should I keep this in my internal storage, in my memory, because they have the tool ready, that can answer them. So that means that if the tool changes the answer one day, when the memory will be gone, it means that power can achieve that kind of 1984 level of exchange of history. So I believe that this film without AI would have lost a layer. And it would have still been, it's a very simple sci-fi tale that I wrote many years ago. It would have still worked as a love story, but it would have lost this layer. And it would have been a smaller film in terms of what it can be about and how it can talk to our era.
Thank you. Marco, Zirui?
I go? Okay. My film starts from process that I was trying to understand how identity works and how consciousness works. So I see this similarity from human mind to an AI database, public. Consciousness, I see it as a database that is fulfilled by a lot of images that we have seen, or a lot of information that we have read or we have seen through films or all the conventional media that we have access to, and I started at the same time I was playing with these AI tools, creating images of experience that I would have liked to have done and that I remember to have done. And so I created this story of this character that maybe remember or maybe not a travel that he has done in his past. But he is not sure, so he need to look for the truth. I mean, to look if he already done this trip or not. And I tried to work on an aesthetic on the AI images that was trying to be a bit of nostalgic, like film does, and I tried to look for my consciousness that was impersonified in this girl that my character is looking for. Kind of like, uno scrigno.
Chest.
Yeah, like a chest where all of his experience is in. And that's it.
Hi, and for me, I am interested in those tools. So it's like maybe 2 years ago, I started fusion and try to figure it out how that happened. At the beginning, it's mid-journey, and then gradually I try to find out what happened inside, and then to use Stable Diffusion and one by one to test step by step what it could be. And as an artist, I think I just trying to find out what's the potential of these materials, what it could metaphor. And so, for example, in my last film that I collaborate with another artist, we're trying to use the step of AI, like there is a step of denoise, Like at the beginning, like AI need a lot of database and add noise and in latent space and then denoise. And this process, we use this process to metaphor the process of archaeology to find like for example, dinosaur. And in this film, I find it could be a symbol of my flexible identity, and which I complain also, like the bureaucracy system in Europe, and and also like about my next film, I try to use this as a kind of metaphor of like traumatic memory, and I just try to play around with this tool and to find out maybe there is something else that I can express by that. And by the way, I also find like how this trying to figure out how this industry impacts the society, like how it's influence people in the society. Because for the different people in different countries, the feeling of these tools is totally different, and that's for example in China that concern a lot of like label problem, and that lead a lot of questions, and I trying to express it like at the same times. So yeah, that's my logic to do this work.
I don't know if there is any question here in the audience.
We have microphones in the room.
Yeah.
If somebody just raise your hand. But
Someone would like to...
The first question is the hardest.
Yeah. No? For us, it was very interesting. For example, the case that your film, at least I will be 1,000 numbers. It was very interesting that you mix the real world image and generated images. Could you tell us more about this relationship between real images and artificial images? You think if you could extrapolate a little bit more beyond your own movie, if you think that it will be, for example, some sort of tendency, for example, that we could find AI generative films that cohabitate these two realities?
Yeah. So the relationship between AI images and live action images in my film, it show a recycle of existent images, so through the AI tool, because AI databases are made up of existent images, and it try to create new images for myself, for a personal archive. Why I don't remember if I have ever done this trip or not, because I've never liked to film. I've never liked to have proof of travel. So growing up, memories fade away, and so I started asking who I am if I cannot see what I have done in my past. So I think that AI could be useful for this, in a sort sense of, in this narration, and in this film, recreating still from a trip, it's not enough. So there is this needings of having a real personal footage that is the proof of your presence there, and so they try to coexist. Just because both are based on reality. I mean, both talks about the real world, a world that exists. Also, the AI images talks about, I mean, a world that exists, that is real, even if it's a bit faded, you know. And I mean, that's it.
Yeah. I can in this morning sessions at Pompeu Fabra University, Antonio Somainis arise an interesting question about the archive, no, the paper of the archive in creating, no, and maybe we should think, no, more than in archive libraries and some kind of these architectures spaces. Your film, there is an important idea about the archive, and I don't know if you share this. Of the archive is maybe one of the main creation process, no? Working with the archive. I don't know if you, Zirui.
Those archive for me is also another material that carry a lot of information, like that I think it might, I'm not sure actually, but I just try to connect, to combine those material with another material. For example, I use some archive of the second part, the sculpture of Lenin were overthrown. That a lot of images they were from Twitter. Like the people who shoot directly by their phone, like to overthrow the statue. I can't like very reasonable to say why I use this reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, but I just feel this kind of image were powerful, and that connect to a part of me, and I just trying to put it there. And but for this third part, I use some archive also, but that's a lot of that's some screenshots of people who are training the AI, and like to have a annotation, to have a how to say, to note this is what, like the people, the car, the tree, something like that. The working process, to kind of showing what's behind this industry, and yeah, like that's my way of using those stuff. Yeah.
Do we have some questions? Yeah.
Hay una preguntita, por favor.
Thank you. I have a question for Zirui, right?
Yeah.
So I noticed in the first part of your film, it's a Kafkaesque story of translatable things, you know, documentations. I once did this kind of things. And in the last part of your film, it's more like a critique of a flexible accumulation in a neoliberalism order. In the second part is the Lenin statue, and I was trying to get a consistent sense of, do you have some, I mean, AI is something very different from a bureaucracy from my perspective, but you seem to put themselves somehow, it's a juxtaposition there. What's your understanding of the bureaucracy and its relationship with these, decentralized, or at least seemingly decentralized AI things? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. For myself, like for example, the first part that I use AI, that talking a lot about data, like how, like people become the number, like in the bureaucracy system, every people is just a couple of number, and like that means this number can be reproductive, can be reproduction, can copy and pass and like forever like that. So I just like use my face and in Stable Diffusion reproduct. And the second part of that, the way I use AI is more like during the process of falling down of the statue, that I use several symbols to project to that thing. Like there were several like wars or communist propaganda posters or like newspaper images and one I forget. This also like during this process, like, and the context is about how people were shaped by their built or shaped by their destroyed, and in this during the process, I just feel a huge like insecure or unstable feelings. So I just trying to separate it to a lot of parts and to show different perspective of this process. And this, I mean, the third part that's concerned to like the dissolve of the people's identity in this industry. Like that's also like my the point that I care a lot, and I just added it at the end. Yeah, I don't know if that's okay. Thank you.
Do we have some more questions?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot your name, but it's the second director. Yeah.
I am Andrea.
Andrea.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice meeting you. You asked about your motivation. You said it was for me a way or to find out my own fear about the future of all this and how to deal with that. And I'm interested to hear if that during the whole process of the movie making, that has changed. Did it change your own perspective on the technology and on what artificial intelligence can do? Do you feel you're much more in control now of artificial intelligence, or is it the other way around? Is artificial intelligence more in control of you?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm not sure that I feel in control, because the technology is evolving very rapidly and sometimes surprisingly. So it's like a little bit like Achilles trying to reach the tortoise. You know, you think you're there and then it slips away from you once more. One thing that I'm sure is that by studying it, I came to understand that actually it is a tool that possibly borders with the new media, meaning that there's going to be AI-specific works of art that we couldn't do before, and that makes me very happy. There is a paper by this Italian professor, you might check it out, called Luciano Floridi, that theorizes that, for example, new literature can be born by AI called isotopic literature, meaning that, for example, when you read a book now, you read it usually from A to B in a linear way. And with AI, you could actually create books that are like spheres. I mean, I create a world with a time, a space, a logic, characters, and I am the designer of this world, but the book can be read in any direction, you know? Can be like, I don't know, from the point of view of the minor character, main character, another guy, a dog. from an impersonal point of view. So in this sense, the designer, which is the artist that works at a distance with the work of art, so it doesn't craft words, but it crafts the logic of the words, is in a collaboration with the reader, and the work cannot exist without both. And this is very different from the idea of exegesis of historical literature, where you have one vector and the spectator should analyze what do you mean by that. The work cannot exist if somebody doesn't go through it, and the spectator becomes part of the, so to say, work of art. This can also be applied to cinema, maybe not now because it requires a lot of resources and computers are not there, but we could come at the point where we have infinite films and infinite art, meaning films that cannot be ended, that you can watch forever, books that you cannot finish, that have no borders. And this changes a lot. For example, the idea of art that Benjamin theorized with the age of reproduction of art. I don't know how to translate the book in English, but it's a new form of reproduction which always makes a new, unique specimen instead of making the same on different devices. And this will change a lot also, I believe, our relationship with what is unique and what the value of uniqueness in this AI-generated art world, meaning that it's very likely that human beings in the future will not care whether something is unique because everything will be unique, so to say. So it's a completely different mindset and mentality. What I came to understand, though, and I'm very optimistic about it, is that human beings are not that weak and that stupid to succumb to this. And actually, there are ways of finding beauty and of finding poetry and of finding once more a way to use these tools to find ourselves and know something more about ourselves. But I think that it will dramatically change these ideas and the hierarchy of art also as a sort of pyramid. And also the idea that intelligence is concentrated in few individuals and the rest of them are like kind of down on the pyramid. I think we will shift more into collective intelligence, so to say. So it's definitely a different world. I compare this to the invention of printing press more than to any other technology. Like people say it's like shift from photography to painting to photography. Like for me, it's like we are coming, it's the same kind of shift that there was from copying books by hand to printing. So an acceleration and in speed and diffusion of knowledge that will permanently change the world, so to say. At least until the first very serious solar storm, which would be a very interesting phenomenon to see. I wanted to say something else. So no, I don't know. Like for example, now the question is more what it will do to short-term economies, which could be devastating. I don't know, I'm thinking about poor people who were feeling safe about doing advertisement, and now they will lose their job, most of them, people who do VFX, people who do like very specialized image crafting, I mean, all the illustrators that worked for the market. I mean, these people grew up with the belief that artistic work could not be reproduced, and now it is possible to reproduce it, and with their own work. So they've been tricked, they've been stolen from, and now they've been robbed. But I believe that this is not even a problem of AI, but a much broader problem of capitalism and of everything that relies on the market. At some point, the market changes and everything goes to... But I have like zero fear for artistic work. Also because one last observation is that no form of art has ever gone extinct from its inception, and this is remarkable in an age which is so oblivious, meaning that we still go to watch opera, we still dance, make music, architecture, everything survived, and even in their more niche forms. So I believe that that will also be the case with the audiovisual. And I remember the last thing that I wanted to say, and this is really the last one. Charles Baudelaire, in a paper, they were not called papers, but in an essay that he wrote at that time, at his time called On Photography, and you can find this remarkable essay online, was saying that photographers were just poorly educated painters who are envious and cannot grasp the greatness of art, and that what they do is a vile mockery of artistic images. And it's exactly the letterbox reviews that I get on this film sometimes. So, I mean, it's a loop, and every new technology brings this this big fear that, oh my God, we're going to go extinct. We're not going to go extinct. It's okay.
I think it's a very positive message to wrap up our conversation. Our time is over, and thank you so much, Zirui, Andrea, and Marco. See you in 10 minutes for the second screening. Thank you.